What up, kind of PTCG here for another deck profile of Malamar Ultra Necrozma. This is basically what I played for the pre-release, except this is a lot better. But yeah, I basically played a dumbed down version of this deck for my pre-release. And I made fun of this card, like, before we got our boxes, and I was like, man, this card's gonna suck. And then I pulled one, and now I have two of it, so, and I don't think it sucks anymore. But yeah, so 3 Ultra Necrozma. This card does kind of look weird because it doesn't have a third attack or an ability, so it just has one regular attack and one GX attack and no ability. But its attack is very awesome. For a Psychic and a Metal Energy, it does 20. You have to discard every basic Psychic Energy attached to it, and it does 80 more for each Psychic Energy. With a Choice Band, you only have to discard 2 Psychic Energies to knock out a Zoroark GX. It is weak to Fairy, but I don't believe that matters because you will only have 1 energy attached to it usually at a time, which means they still need to do a lot of damage. They still need to have like 3, I think, energies on them, or maybe 2, 3 against Gardevoir. Sorry, I don't think I said that. They need 3 energies to be able to knock you out, which is pretty hard still. And then Sylveon, you do enough damage to Sylveon that it doesn't matter, and they only have 2 DCEs, so yeah. And then those are the only fairy decks that matter. So really, Naganadel, or not Naganadel, Ultra Necrozma's weakness doesn't matter. I am one of the only people that says go 3-3 line with the Malamar, but I think that that's the best way to do it. Inkay just puts your opponent to sleep, I think. Or maybe it's poison, I'm pretty sure it's sleep. Malamar does the same thing as the old Bronzong and the old Electric. I said that weird. Electric. You attach a Psychic Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon once per turn. This deck, because your attack is a basic and your acceleration is stage 2 or stage 1, this deck can actually set up 3 Malamars relatively easily. Late game, but still. 1 Mew. Mew can hit Buzzwole for weakness, and it's a 1 prize attacker. Yeah, but Mew's nice. Also, it has Free Retreat. And Donwing's Necrozma is very important to this deck. I would even consider playing 2. Invasion. Once per turn, you can put this as your active Pokemon, and with Floatstone, you can retreat it. Basically, this gives everything in play for your retreat if it has a Floatstone. So, because you can only attach the Psychic Energies from Malamar to your bench Pokemon, you'll want to put Donwings up in your active, use the ability of Malamar to power up your Necrozma, and then retreat into the Necrozma that you're attacking with. 2 Lele for Wonder Tag. Wonder Tag's a nice ability. And Energy Drive is also a surprisingly good attack in this deck because you can get 4 energies onto this in 1 turn relatively easily. That's just 4 Malamars and a attachment for turn. So that's already doing 80 damage. So Lele is not that bad of an attacker, to be perfectly honest. For supporters, we have a lot of draw support. 4 Sycamore, 3 Cynthia, 3 N. Draw support is very important to making this deck consistent. And then 3 Guzma to make you and your opponent switch to be able to hit whatever you want. You are pretty much always one-shotting things with this deck, so unless you're dead drawing. So Guzma is very useful. And then 2 Brigette to get out your Pokemon. I almost always go for 1 Necrozma and 2 Malamar. That's just me. 1 Parallel City. Really, this is only so that you can Parallel City your opponent so that you don't get Parallel City'd, because having 3 bench Pokemon is really hard with this deck. Having 4 is a whole different, like, having 3 is 1 Necrozma and 2 Malamar, or one Necrozma, a Malamar, and Dawnwings. Like, 3 bench Pokemon, it doesn't work because either you can't power up your attacker or you don't have a backup attacker. But even just like if you can only have 4 bench Pokemon, now you have all of those pieces. So Perilous City is a big problem. Sudowoodo is not. For Mystery Treasure, everyone was so hyping this card. I do not understand why it's that hyped. I have 3 or 4 of it already now from the pre-release, and this is Sunday after the first pre-releases. So Mystery Treasure, you discard a card from your hand and get either a Psychic or Dragon Pokemon in your hand, which this searches out every Pokemon in your deck. So, for Floatstone, because you really need to be able to use your Dawnwings, or even not have your Malamars Guzma'd up and stuck. So, Floatstone's a big thing. 3 Ultra Ball, you still need to get your Pokemon out. Mystery Treasure is good. Also, Ultra Ball can discard more cards, which is sometimes better, because sometimes you can discard more Psychic Energies. But otherwise, Mystery Treasure is usually better. 3 Choice Band, the damage is really nice with Choice Band. There's a lot of things that work out with Choice Band. And at first I was thinking about Fury Belt instead, but then you need 3 energies to be able to knock out a Zoroark GX, which is a lot harder than 2. Because 2, you only need 1 Malamar and an attachment at 4. 3, you need 2 Malamars and an attachment at 4, which sometimes is harder. 2 Field Blowers, because Garbotoxin is very hard to deal with, and not Field Blower, Perilous City. 1 Rescue Stretcher, to get Malamars back into play, and then 1 Super Rod, because sometimes you'll get carried away with discarding energies or discarding your Pokemon, and you need to shuffle them back. And then we have, I believe it's a total of 8. Is that right? Yep. 8 Psychic Energies, 4 Metal Energies, and a Beast Energy. Beast Energy, as long as it's attached to an Ultra Beast, it's basically a Rainbow Energy, and you do 30 more damage. But with this, you cannot discard this as a Psychic Energy to do more damage. That is one thing you have to be aware of. But yeah, this is my Ultra Necrozma deck profile. I've been testing this deck. It is broken. It is so good. I thought it was going to be a clunky, inconsistent piece of shit, but it is actually very easy to set up and very powerful. Not trying to hype this deck. Actually, I am a little bit, because it's very nice. But, yeah. Leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles. Meme decks, good decks, standard decks, expanded decks, budget decks, sometimes openings. My video editor sucks, so he's not rendering videos that he's supposed to. Shout out to him, though. He's a good person, usually. And yeah, I ran out of things to say, so